This is a tundra region, a frozen plain below the Arctic Sea. It's where reindeer and the nomadic Nenets people spend the winter. They stay where there is lichen, on which the reindeer feed.
Ну, заранее обычно смотрим место, куда им даем, чтобы был не очень глубокий снег, не было льда, чтобы был ягель, в летнюю пору, чтобы где больше озер, зелени, а зимой больше ягеля, но меньше снега. Хотя тут у нас в лапте, да, больше бывает снега. Снег бывает достаточно очень глубокий.
The day is short in the winter. They devote the mere 3 or 4 hours of daylight solely to the reindeer. They're carefully scanning each and every reindeer. They capture and examine the reindeer if it shows even the slightest sign of a problem. A little bit of coat is removed to mark that it has been examined and is then let go. Minus 30 degrees Celsius. The reindeer is a tough animal that has adapted to this cold. It preserves its body heat with a double-layered coat, and it uses its tough hooves to dig the frozen earth for lichen. It was possible for humans to handle them because they live in herds. The people inhabit this frozen ground because of the reindeer. The Nenets live in mobile shelters called chum. The stove entered their homes after the 1900s. It's a change engendered by Soviet rule. It was only after the 1900s that they came to cook their meat and make diverse dishes. There's only one kind of meat: reindeer meat. This meat was traditionally eaten raw. So having it as is doesn't raise an eyebrow.
Вот у нас здесь внутренний оленей жир, то внутренний. Обычно мы его добавляем жаркое для вкуса. Он получается вкусно очень. Сейчас я его добавлю. Вместо масла использовали. Надо их растопить. Сейчас добавлю.
Dried reindeer fat is used instead of oil to complete the dish.
Перемешать.
The Nenets' meals transformed rapidly under Soviet rule. The children only eat with them during school breaks. They get 7 years of compulsory education at a boarding school. Another day begins. He starts out by inspecting the sled. The reindeer to pull the sleds are selected on an ad hoc basis. The reindeer must be strong and patient. The nomads make their sleds as light as possible to lighten the burden on the reindeer. They're on their way to find the reindeer herd, which has moved over the night. The nomads herd the reindeer and drive them to areas rich with lichen. The reindeer can find the lichen themselves, but they can feed on more lichen with less effort if humans drive them. From the reindeer they thus take care of, humans get fleece, hide, and meat to sustain themselves. He carefully scans the herd. He's planning to catch a reindeer for meat. These reindeer have lived in the wild, free of enclosures. Catching a reindeer is close to hunting. The reindeer caught by the rope will be used for the human's needs. As is the fate of domestic animals. Winter in the tundra, a lifetime of combating the harshest cold earth. Had it not been for the reindeer, humans couldn't have lived here. The Nenets method of slaughtering reindeer. They instantaneously sever a major nerve bundle to minimize the suffering. The hide is used to make shelter and clothing. Catching reindeer for meat is only done in the winter. And the meat is cleaned and cut up only on a frozen river. The blood begins to freeze in no time. It's a Nenets tradition to have raw meat on the spot. Because they feed only on lichen, reindeer blood and meat is rich in iron and vitamins. Thus, humans can get these nutrients without having to eat vegetables. What sustained them in this extreme environment? What sustained the human way of life? It was meat.
Это не нами самими в этом веке придумали, это которые до нас жили, предки, прадеды, бабки, дедки и прочие, да. Они вот, раньше рацион у них был, больше употребляли сырое мясо.
Thatched-roofed traditional housing. In the hut lives the Papuan Dani people. The kitchen is where the fire is lit inside the hut. Only women live in huts with a kitchen. The yams and corn farmed through slash and burn method are the Dani's staples. The Dani still practice their ancient tribal culture. They observe only nature and age-old traditions. When the food is cooked, it is delivered from the women's hut to the men's. Children serve as delivery people. Where the chief and men live is called the Pilamos, a space considered sacred by the tribe. They say men and women live in separate quarters so that men can bolt right out when there is war. It must mean they've seen their fair share of wars. The Dani were noted among the Papuan tribes for their bravery. There was always a threat to their survival, as there was cannibalism in this region.
Karena kita pakai tulang babi ini harus kita kan macam perang-perang mau perang. Itu harus kita pakai galung begini dengan gigi babi itu baru kita perang. Itu budaya dari dulu, nenek moyang dulu kan dong harus hidung dibolong. Baru harus kita hiasan semua, baru perang itu dong takut. Karena musuh kan dong lihat itu kan hiasannya kan lain-lain, akhirnya dong takut. Akhirnya langsung dong takut tuh kalau kita jalan langsung bunuh.
There's something even more important than war to the Dani. Hogs. Even the region came to be called Wamena, which means hog. Every morning, the hogs have yams, just like the humans.
Babi itu kasih makan pagi, masuk itu sore itu kasih makan, tutup di kandang, siang gitu pagi itu kasih keluar, dan makan sendiri-sendiri, sore itu kembali masuk.
When breakfast is about over, the gate is opened. The hogs' outing begins. As soon as they come out, they take care of the business they'd held in all night. They defecate. Because they eat and do set things at set times, they have also come to relieve themselves at set times. Only then do they set out to forage for food. Although hogs are commonly considered filthy, they are actually a surprisingly clean animal. You can tell just by looking at the sty in which they live. Hogs are a clean and smart domestic animal. And to the Dani, they're more than just animals. They're lifelong companions, assets more valuable than money, and the most special meat. It's shot in the heart with an arrow. Pork means a feast for the entire village.
Babi itu harus, kita di sini tuh harus, babi itu penting. Mas kawin, untuk pesta adat, orang meninggal, acara apa-apa tuh semuanya babi. Ya itu untuk upacara, tapi untuk makan juga. Kalau tidak ada upacara, kita tidak bisa bunuh babi. Harus ada upacara baru kita bunuh, makan.
What's more difficult than slaughtering a hog is cooking it. Only the hair is removed as the meat is prepared. To one side, a pit is dug in the ground and grass is laid in it. Leaves are placed on top to create a flat surface. Once the rocks are heated, they're moved to the pit. They'll be covered with leaves, and the heat they emit will be used for steaming. They laid the yams first. And they're covered with banana leaves. It's only after several more layers that the hog is placed. This is Barak Batu, the Dani's traditional pork dish. But it's not over yet. They must wait at least 2 hours for the meat to cook in this all-natural steamer. Now, the final step. They observe the rule that women must be the first to remove the pork. Perfectly well-cooked pork emerges. Having a morsel of meat required a truly arduous process. Because Dani traditions regard the hog as more than just meat. Embellishing their most important life events is their only domestic animal, the hog. There are times when a domestic animal signifies more than just human desire and becomes life itself.